Good afternoon. Welcome to the City of Madeira Beach Code Enforcement Hearing. My name is Bart Valdez, and I am the appointed special magistrate to hear today's cases. I'm a practicing attorney and have been a member of the Florida Bar for over 20 years. I have been appointed to this position in accordance and with the authority set forth in Chapter 162 Florida statutes. It is my role to fairly and objectively review the matters presented. As such, I would like to advise you of certain matters related to today's proceedings. Today's matters will be heard in the order that they appear on the agenda. Every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence, argument, or comments to offer related to the specific case that is being heard. If you wish to speak today, it is necessary that you be sworn in by the city attorney in just a few moments. In all cases, since the city has the burden of proof, the city will present its case first. A respondent or property owner then will be given the opportunity to refute the city's allegations. Formal rules of evidence do not apply to this proceeding. However, I will exert every effort to ensure that fundamental fairness is afforded to all parties. After hearing all relevant evidence, I will issue an order. The order will be reduced to writing and you'll be provided with a copy by mail. Therefore, please make sure that we have your current address. Additionally, you are advised that I do not have the authority to grant you a variance, permit, or special exception of any kind. My role is solely to determine whether a city code has been violated and to provide you a reasonable time to correct the violation by whatever means is available to you. Please be advised that you may be subject to a fine and a lien may be recorded on your property if the violation is not corrected by the compliance deadline. If you wish to present any information to me today, it is necessary that you swear or affirm that you will tell the truth. Therefore, at this time, I ask the city attorney to go ahead and swear in any witnesses.
Will anybody who intends to offer any testimony before the magistrate today, including city staff, any property owners or their representatives, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are giving today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Mr. Magistrate, they've been sworn.
Okay, the first matter on the agenda is case number 2020.1251 for the property located at 338 Boca Ciega Drive. Is the city ready to move forward on that one?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Before I begin, it's my understanding the case concerns 2020-1251 for 338 Boca Ciega Drive. On Thursday, the city received correspondence from the property owner or their representative indicating that the non-conforming violation had been remedied and city staff conducted its own visit. Mr. Pinker, do you have any testimony on that point?
Yes, Thursday, the 24th, we did receive photos that the unpermitted work was removed and staff did verify.
So at this point, the property is in compliance and there's no need for a later compliance date. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. So with that, Mr. Magistrate, we would submit to you that there's no order need issue other than finding of compliance as of February 24th of this year.
All right, I'll go ahead and enter an order of compliance as of 2/24/22. All right, the next case on the agenda is 2021.3355. Property is located at 14230 Gulf Boulevard. Is the city prepared to move forward on this case?
Yes, we are, Mr. Magistrate. And though I'm sure you're well familiar, the city wishes to remind you that this case has already been heard. Evidence has been entered into the record, testimony heard, and at the conclusion of the hearing, you within your discretion opted to continue the matter. We are continued to today. And at this point, I would then ask Mr. Pinkert on behalf of the city, have you had an opportunity to recently review and determine whether this property is in compliance at this date?
As of today, it is not.
Have they applied for a permit since the last hearing?
I believe they had submitted a permit application before the last meeting. We've had several emails, phone calls, conference calls, and just other meetings with the property owner.
But the property has not yet complied relative to the violation on which the magistrate had already received testimony, correct?
Correct.
Okay. With that, Mr. Magistrate, I would leave it to anything the property owner wishes to add into the record in their testimony as to where the things stand.
All right, and I do recall this case and recall the evidence. One of the reasons why we did the continuance was because I think there was a couple questions and we wanted to make sure that there was only the one violation. There weren't more than one violation, and it's just relating to the construction of the wall or the block structure on the back. Mr. Pinkert, is that right?
The only issue that they haven't been cited for is that by creating this wall, they've created other violations.
Okay. All right. Property owner? All right, come on up here. This is your opportunity in the hearing because Mr. Pinker just provided testimony both in response to my questions and the city's.
Sure.
You have the right to cross-examine him. You can ask him any questions you want to ask. I'm going to give you a full opportunity to present to me any information you
Sure.
want.
Yep.
But at this point in time, do you have any questions for Mr. Pinkert at all?
I do not. Now, Holden and I talk fairly regularly enough. Yep.
All right.
Sorry.
Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Anything else from the city? Any other witnesses from the city?
No other witnesses. We would just ask for a final finding on giving them 30 days to comply under penalty of a $100 day fine
All right.
and rely on the record as it has been established otherwise in the testimony supplementing today.
Understood. Sir, give me your name.
Sure. My name is Aaron, Aaron. My last name is Motta, Motta.
All right. Mr. Mata, this is the opportunity for you to present whatever information you'd like to present for me to consider whatever defenses you have or any disagreements you have with the city or anything like that.
We have no disagreements, I don't think. Yeah, we did file that permit, but it falls kind of outside a little bit of Madeira Beach's jurisdiction. It's outside of the coastal control line, so we have to apply for a special permit, which we're personally not qualified to do. So we've had to hire Ruben Clarson Consulting, which we just signed a contract with them recently to help us remedy.
How long did they indicate the process would take? I mean, the city's asking for 30 days. It sounds like you're working to bring the property into compliance.
Yes.
I don't want you to, I don't want to just pick an arbitrary date if we know that date is not going to work with you.
Yeah,
or-
they haven't
or your
really exactly
contractor.
given us a specific date. We've kind of just been in preliminary talks the past like few weeks, but they haven't given us a specific date as to how long it's going to take them to determine if the wall can stay and the wall can go, or how long the permit's going to take.
Gotcha. All right, stay right there. You have any cross-examination of this witness?
To the extent you said, when did you formally retain?
It was just
Ruben
this
Clarson?
this past week.
This past week. Okay.
Yeah, we had pursued some other avenues, but they all kind of fell through.
And have you had the opportunity yet, or has Mr. Clarson and their firm had you complete any documentation to be submitted to the state, whether that be FDEP or otherwise?
No, not yet. I just kind of gave them everything that we had for.
So they're still on the intake side. of it.
They are, yes, yeah.
No further questioning.
All righty. All right, sir. Now is the time for public comment. Are there any members of the public that would like to come forward and provide any comments in regard to case number 2021.3355? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Anything else from the city on this one?
Nothing further.
All right, since it's been admitted there's a violation, I'm going to go ahead and go along with what the city is asking for. However, I'm going to give you 60 days.
Okay, thank you.
Just
sir.
because I know how permitting can, be difficult. What I'll also say is if for whatever reason you find that 60 days is not sufficient and really the right number is 90 days, just work
Okay.
with the city on that.
Yep.
And potentially come back to have another hearing. I mean, the fact that you're working toward bringing it into compliance is what that's the goal of code
Yes.
enforcement, is to get the properties into compliance. So it sounds like you're working toward that goal. So I'm going to give you 60 days. If you need more time, though, come back before me. All right?
All right,
All
thank you,
right.
sir.
Mr. Magistrate, if I could just clarify the order to understanding and appreciating the flexibility towards compliance. Is your order finding that the city is prevented from, after the 60 days, holding a hearing if, and I don't know you, Mr. Mott, I'm not suggesting anything about you, but if they're making representations that the check's in the mail and and the city is prepared to move forward and saying they're dragging their feet, they're not really meaningfully engaged in the permitting process. Is there any issue with us bringing it back before you after that 60th day?
Not at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right. That concludes the hearing on case number 2021.3355. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
All
it,
right.
sir. Thank you.
The next one I have is case number 2021.2238, 900 Bay Point Drive.
Yes, and on that case, we have excuse me, we have an affidavit of compliance, and the city simply asks, Mr. Magistrate, that you please accept and enter an order finding compliance in conformity with the affidavit submitted.
That is fine. Hold on, let me just make sure I've got the date. So the property is brought into compliance as of 2/1/2022. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Very good. I will enter an order of compliance as of 2/1/22. All right, anything else before me today?
No business from the city.
All right, that concludes today's hearings. Thank you very much.
Thank you.